In this video we are going to learn about operator overloading, and before I go further, let's look at our normal programming. When we create an integer, like for example in our normal programming, when we have integers like let's say integer a is equal to certain value and let's say integer b is equal to 9, right? And if we want to add them or subtract them or multiply, we had different kind of operators. For example, plus, minus, and this is multiplication, and we had division. And to add them we just put a plus b, and to multiply we put a multiplication b. So we can do these kind of things, but the question here is, can we do the same thing with the custom object that we create in our program? The answer is no, we can't. So to make this operator to work with our custom build operator, the C++ offers a feature called operator overloading. That's what we are going to look at today. So here we are going to create this plus operator, and let's see how we are going to do that. Now in order to do that, first of all we have to create a class. So I'm going to create the class above this main function. Okay, so we create class, and let's name it this one marks, right? Marks. And let's put a semicolon, not semicolon, I mean curly bracket, and inside the curly bracket we are going to have a couple of private properties. So let's call them integer int mark, and integer x_mark. Okay, x_mark. And then the next thing we are going to do is we are going to define a public access specifier. So we call this one like public, right? So we are going to define a public access specifier. We call this one public, and that's it. And inside the public access specifier we are going to create a default constructor. Let's name this one mark, and parenthesis, and then semicolon, not semicolon, I keep saying semicolon, it's curly bracket, and then int mark, and we are going to set it to 0, right? And also we are going to create x_mark and set it to 0, but after this we have to put a semicolon. Okay, x_mark, and also we are going to set this one to 0. And the next thing we are going to do is we are going to create the next thing is another constructor we have to create. To do that I'm just going to copy paste this one. Okay, just copy this thing and just paste it. Okay, now inside of this one we are going to store the class members. So let's store this integer marker as im. Okay, let's call this im, and this one x_mark we are going to call this one em, and semicolon. And after we create this one we are going to create a return types void. But before I do that I have to close this one. Let's put a curly bracket right here, and then we are going to create a void return type and display, and also we are going to write a cout statement. Okay, so here we are going to put a cout statement, but before I put the curly bracket and put the cout statement right here, that's going to be int mark end line, and then x_mark and then end line. Okay, so now we have to overload the plus operator. So before I do that, we are going to let's create two objects in our main function. So let's call the objects marks m1, and let's put some values for that. Let's put 10, 20, and also we are going to create another object let's call that one m2, and let's put some values like 30, 40. Okay, and we want to add them together. Like we want to find the internal mark, and also we want to find the external mark. To find that, we are going to put marks m3 is equal to m1 plus m2, and then semicolon. And now we have to add actually overload our plus operator. To overload the plus operator, what we do is we go here in the after this statement, void statement. Okay, here we go. This after this one, we create our overload plus operator. So here we are going to put marks operator, and we overload the plus operator. So we just put plus right here. Okay. After that, in parentheses, we are going to put marks m, and inside of this one, we are going to create a temporary object that's going to be called marks temp. And also we are going to put some members for this. Okay, so let's create the members. So let's say temp.intMark is equal to intMark plus m.intMark semicolon. After that, another member temp.xmark equal xmark plus m.xmark. Okay, after each of them we put semicolon, and also return temp, and to display what's going on here, we have to put a display statement that is going to be m3.display and parenthesis semicolon. Okay, now we should get the addition of these two. Now let's run this one, execute this one, and see whether it works. Okay, there are some errors. Let's fix them one by one. Okay, mark this one. Okay, mark in the first. Okay, this one should be marks, right? Marks, and oh, this one public. Both of them should be marks. And now let's run this one and see what we get. Okay, M capital. I should keep marks. Okay, let's see. First we put marks like this, and then marks like this, marks. Okay, inside of this marks, I had to put integer im and also integer em. Okay, now let's see. So there are something missing after class definition. Here we have this one right here. Okay, this starting here, and we should have one here, and also another one here, and another one here, and okay, here this one. This one should be ending here. Okay. Okay, let's see. Here we have this one, and here we had this one, and we closed this one. Maybe I should put one more. Okay, let's see. We have one open, two closed, one open, one closed, one open, one closed, and semicolon. Here we have this one. Okay, at the end of input. Okay, let's try one more and see what happens. Marks. Okay, marks operator, and here we have marks M1, this one, and marks M3 is this one. M3. Okay, let's see this one right here. Marks this one. Okay, this one I should put a semicolon. Okay, now you see it works. Now here what we are getting is internal mark and external mark. Internal marks is basically when we add this 10 and this 30 together, that's the internal mark. That's what we are getting, 40. And this is 20 and this is 40. And that is our external marks, 20 plus 40, 60. Now the plus operator works. And that's how we do this one, this called operator overloading. I hope this helps. Thanks for watching.